Hello and welcome back. I'm Arugs. See, now I'm gonna be all pausy. uh, my friend who's helping me edit these is like, remember to pause. Yeah, talking to you, Sean. I wanted to, there's just, I've been thinking a lot about sort of my first few videos and what I would be doing. And I decided that my first one of my first videos, I wanted to talk about insecurities because I recorded my first video last night, my introduction video, and y'all can be witness to the awkwardness. And I felt really vulnerable. I felt incredibly insecure. And I've been thinking about this a lot today. And so much of my life, I haven't done things, or my automated response is to not do things because I've felt insecure. A lot of my decisions, a lot of things I've done, places I've gone, people I have or have not talked to have been because I've been insecure. I have spent, I'm going to take, for example, working with Dondero streams. And because I've been struggling with that for a little bit, not because I'm doing a bad job, not because anything that I have done has been wrong, anything that's bad. It's because things are going so well. And I don't know if anybody else has experienced this, and I'm sure I'm not the only one, so that's fine. Again, this is me. When things start going really well, when things start going really good and things are really taking off, that's when I get the most insecure. It's not when things are going bad, because when things start going really well, I start feeling like, oh, things are going so well that they're not, I start feeling like I'm not good enough. I start feeling like, oh, well, they're going to replace me with somebody better. They're going to, and they might, I don't know, but, when things start going well, I start feeling insecure. So in turn, I start to self-sabotage. I start to self-deprecate. I start to talk bad about myself. It's a defense mechanism that I have, and it's not right. It's not also not something I can turn off. It's unfortunately that's something I've been struggling with my entire life. Things start going well and I think I'm going to ruin this, or I'm going to stop this, or I'm going to break them before they can break me. And that is not healthy. Not healthy. I'm telling you now, this is just one of those things that I do that is not healthy. And yes, I know there are probably some therapists or friends out there who could sit down and analyze me, honey, you and about a million other therapists. So this is something that I've worked on in therapy, and I'm actually getting much better at recognizing when I'm doing it. It's just so hard for me to accept that I am good at something. It is hard for me to accept success because I'm afraid that I'm not good enough, that it must be a mistake. Now, I know that a lot of you, it's called imposter syndrome or imposter whatever, where you feel like you're not deserving of that. And yes, there's a lot of that. But I go a little beyond that. I try very hard. Like, I almost convince myself, and I try to convince the people around me that I'm not good enough, that I try to show them my flaws, and I try to sabotage my projects, and I try to just pawn off my successes and literally, oh, I know I did this, but this is why you did it better, or this is why somebody else did it better. And I don't stop, and I'm not grateful for the praise, and I'm not appreciative of the opportunities, and I'm not kind to myself. And I say this because I've been doing it for the past couple of weeks a lot. And I am doing a good job. And all of my friends and colleagues over at Dondero Streams have been amazing and loving in their own way. No, but they have done nothing, and I think that's where it becomes a hard thing for me. They have done nothing but praise me and support me and love me and care for me, and yet I am resisting that because I feel unworthy. I feel very insecure. I feel like I don't deserve it. I'm undeserving. And that in turn, I feel undeserving. So I convince myself, even though it's not real, even though even though it's not real, I convince myself that they're going to replace me, and that I'm replaceable, and that they can do better. And I spend a lot of time convincing myself that they can do better. And so, because I've convinced myself that they can do better, then I start to sabotage and talk down about myself and push off the praise. And it gets really frustrating for them. And they get really, bless them, they get frustrated. And then I end up in this freaking vicious cycle of downward spiral, which I didn't want to go down in the first place. I actually really want to succeed, and I want to be successful, and I want the praise just like anyone else. But because I feel unworthy and my insecurities are so loud, I convince myself that I'm not good enough. And that's not fair. That's not fair to them. That's not fair to them. And I mean, today I apologized. I apologized to some people because I realized what I was doing. And I realized where a lot of this was coming from. It was not because I didn't care. It is not because I think maybe because I cared too much, and I made myself very vulnerable. Because if they were to replace me, if they were to find somebody better, if they were to go in a different direction, I feel like it would devastate me. And it might not. I mean, that's sometime in the future. It might not, but I feel because I'm so invested and I'm vulnerable and I care, that I become scared, and a lot of that comes from being insecure. And it's so okay to be insecure. And it's also okay to be good. I think, why is it so hard? Why? That's the other thing. Why? I don't understand these people who think they're God's gift to everybody and can't see their flaws at all, because I'm the exact opposite. I can only see my flaws, and I can't do anything right in my own head. But I'm also very good. I'm very good at a lot of things, and I'm very talented at a lot of things. And I need to give myself more credit. And I need to have a little bit more faith in the people around me. And sometimes when you get in that self-deprecating spiral, that fight or flight situation where you're out to protect yourself because you are exposed, you lose faith in yourself, and you lose faith in the people who love you and support you. And that's not fair to them. And it's not fair to me. They deserve for me to have a little faith in them. And I need to have a little faith in myself. And it's hard. And the longer and deeper we get into this journey, you're going to find out why it's so hard for me to have a little faith in myself. My insecurities get to me. And starting this channel and making these videos is very exposing and very nerve-wracking. And really just putting a spotlight on every insecurity that I have. And that's unnerving, which causes my brain to want to protect itself. And it's not right. It's not healthy. But I'm working on it. And I think that's all we can ask of me. I think that's all we can ask of each other is I won't give up if you won't give up. That's something I can promise. That is something that I can give you. I won't give up. I can't promise I won't make mistakes, and I can't promise that I'll get it right, but I can promise that I won't give up. And I think that we should all make that promise to ourselves. Don't make it to me. Just like I'm not making that promise for you. I'm really making that promise to myself. So let's just keep going together and be insecure together and work through our unhealthy coping mechanisms together. And maybe, just maybe, we'll get a little better tomorrow. So that's what has been running through my head today. The random ramblings of Arugs. That has a nice ring to it. The random ramblings of Arugs. I'm a poet and didn't know it. Oh, John Dondero. I got the finger guns going on. Oh my God. I am forever scarred thanks to the weaves, dweebs, and interweaves. Thank you. I have a great support system. John and Miko and Nev and Jay and Sean and all my friends over there at Dondero Streams. They are so supportive, and they're so, they would give me the shirt off their backs. Now they would mock me for it the entire time, but they would do it. And it's all out of love. I don't know how healthy that relationship is either, but I don't feel like digging into that tonight. They're all so wonderful, and they have not given me a reason to feel insecure, to feel unworthy, to feel undeserving. And yet somehow in my head, I have convinced myself that I am unworthy and that I am undeserving and that I am not talented enough. And that's not okay. because I love them. I love every single one of them, and they love me. And so I just need to change the narrative in my head. And that's going to be really hard. But just going to keep trucking, keep trying, and just not give up on myself. I hope that they don't give up on me either.